Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. I am Xander. John is with me tonight to go through everything Celtic, including the SFA nonsense with Trusty, the red card, the Hearts, the game coming up against Utrecht. We'll go through that. We'll do the preview of that as well. All the latest Celtic news, rumours and gossip. We'll go through absolutely everything. But let's bring in John. How are you, John?
I'll need to hold my anger back tonight, I think, Xander. I've a lot of frustration after the weekend.
Absolutely.
Know what
I mean? Yeah, in case you wonder what John's saying, we were talking about every conversation up and down the country. The words, do you know what I mean, get said about 50 times. And he's right. Even when you're talking to yourself, you say it, do you know what I mean? You're absolutely bang on, John. But no, there's so much to go through here, John, with Celtic. There really is. Where do we start? Do we start with the corruption and the cheating? Do we start with the news and the gossip? Do we start with the Hearts game? Where do we start, John? I think we'll start with the corruption and the cheating, John. Right. Obviously, it's just came out that the Trusty appeal has been rejected, so we don't even have Austin Trusty for the next game against Falkirk, John, which is an absolute disgrace in itself. But never mind that, John. It's this red card when we're winning 2-1 with 15 minutes to go at Tynecastle. Now, these are 2 points that are vital in this league challenge, John. The challenge for the league title this year. So we lose 2 points, Hearts gain a point. And it's absolutely vital, John, that we got all 3 points there. And if it wasn't for an absolutely shocking, disgusting decision by Beaton on the VAR and the referee, McLean, John, both of them sending Trusty off when he's running up. We've all heard it, we all know the story, running away from goal. There's already a defender covering as well. But they decide, John, to send Trusty off. This is where your anger's going to come in. And the fact the appeal has been rejected as well, John. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'm not going to get angry. I'm going to keep it calm. There's absolutely no point in getting angry because it's done now and there's nothing we can't turn the clock back. But the Trusty thing getting overturned, I mean, I kind of 80% expected that when it comes to the SFA. They're not going to go back in their word and admit that one of the worst referees in Britain got it wrong. They're not going to admit that because his connection with the Rangers and all that stuff. So the SFA is not going to admit that. They're not going to get back in their word. They're going to stick by Beaton. And if they're sticking by him when everybody else in the country's, well, unless you're of a Hearts persuasion or a Rangers persuasion, says it's never a red card.
Yeah, I know. And you're going to laugh at some of these people coming onto the comment section, John. They're celebrating being second in the league. If you're one club celebrating being second, if you're another club celebrating getting 1 point against a 10-man, very tired Celtic team at home, being Hearts, of course, getting that point against a very tired Celtic team, John, after the heroics in Europe just a couple of days before. You know, they're on the comments gloating, etc. And that's up and down every platform, John, not just in our channel, absolutely everywhere. I've saw it absolutely everywhere. You know, we're depressed when we're sitting on that league table second, John. We're absolutely depressed, whereas other teams actually treat it as a league title win, as in Rangers, John, treating it like a title win because they jumped a couple of points above Celtic. And then, as I say, the Hearts supporters, celebrating a 1 point against a 10-man Celtic team who were 2-1 up at the time. You got to remember when they got sent down to 10 men. They're just two teams with absolutely zero class.
Well, we spoke about the both of them several times on here. I really don't know what to say about it. I mean, I've seen messages from fans from Motherwell and all that. I mean, most clubs in this country despise Celtic. You can see it in the comments when you watch all the videos. You can see what it means to people. Probably 60-70% of Scotland are in a joyous mood when Celtic drop points. That's just the way it is. They just need to get on with it. But when it comes to the Scottish football game, they're all right behind Hearts, aren't they? Unless you're a Hibs fan. I mean, I'm sure the Hibs fans don't want Hearts to win the league. But I think apart from that, everybody else is concurring with it. They all love it. They're absolutely loving it. They're all celebrating it like Hearts or Rangers have won the league. Still 15 games to go, 45 points to be played for. Celtic will make signings before the window closes, and I hope this game against that rotten mob at Tynecastle is the kick that Celtic. I don't even want to say their names under, because they're just a disgrace of a club. For their manager to their fans, the lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely, John. They are a disgrace the way they. I mean, that's 3 times now this season they've won the league. We're still only in January. They've actually celebrated winning the league 3 times, which has got to make it all the sweeter, John, when it comes to May. Remember, May, that is not January, not December, not October, May, when the trophies are being handed out. We'll wait and see what happens, John. That's all we can say at this particular moment. But okay, let's move on with the news. Just on John, a wee quick word on the fact we've also lost Austin Trusty. And don't get me wrong, we'll get into the Hearts game a wee bit later on. We did not play well in that game, but we played well enough to be 2-1 up with 15 minutes to go, John. But Big Trusty, John, he will be a miss, because it really limits our options in the centre-back position for the Falkirk game at Celtic Park on Sunday. It does limit us, John, as regards to that position. So we're just hoping that we can get maybe 1 or 2 centre-backs in over the next few days.
Aye, well, I hope so. I mean, Trusty's a liability anyway, isn't he? I mean, he does some good things. He played a blinder against Bologna. I thought he was outstanding in that game. But against Hearts, that I don't know what he was trying to. We'll talk about this later, actually, the Hearts game. But that one, he tried to pass the ball back to Kasper Schmeichel. He's 2 feet left the ground, and he come off his shin, and the Hearts player's in and goal, and Kasper has to make a great save. It's just things like that with Austin Trusty. I've said it time and time again. With the ball at his feet, he's an absolute nightmare, and we do need another centre half anyway. We need him replaced.
Yeah. I mean, Big Dade Murray's the only other option into him and Scales. Possibly putting Kieran Tierney into centre back position. I don't know, John. I don't know.
Welsh is still there, isn't he?
Yeah, Welsh is still there, John. Yeah, he's still there. But that's up to the manager to decide what's going to happen, because at Celtic we're talking about here, and there's every single chance we'll not have a centre back in before the end of the January transfer window. Okay, John, move on. We'll go back to the Hearts game in about 5 minutes. We'll go through into that in a wee bit of detail. But continuing with the news, Celtic news and stuff like that, we're not going to go through any gossip and rumours, John, because they're everywhere. You've got 67 Hail coming up with the gossip and all that, a big list of players, the Celtic way, big list of players linked to Celtic. All the other podcasts, lists of players linked to Celtic. Not interested in one jot. All I want to know is, facts, John. Players that are actually signed for Celtic or just about over the line. That's when we'll talk about it. And as it stands, there is nobody just about over the line, and there is nobody signed for Celtic either. All we have signed is 2 loan signings, John. That is it. That's the facts, the basic facts. We're signed 2 loan signings, John, and that's it. Shin Yamada, John, he is away on loan to second division German side Munster. Shin Yamada, John, he was a bit of a horror show anyway, wasn't he? Just I don't know if he didn't get the chance, but when he did get a chance, he done nothing when he was on the park.
No, he never done anything.
Did you like that? Shin Yamada and Munster and horror show? Did you like that one?
Munster horror show, aye. I never clicked with the horror show right enough, but aye. Munster, very good, aye.
But I like to look at his wee compilation video. I know you say, John, compilation videos mean nothing, and they do mean nothing. Where he did look like Lionel Messi, he was heading the ball and scoring free kicks, blah blah blah. He just looked like a decent wee centre forward, John, and I think he played maybe 4 or 5 games for Celtic, John, and every time he made that appearance, he done nothing. So you can understand why Martin sent him out on loan.
Aye, absolutely you can. I mean, the big guy played against, I don't want to say their name, but that mob on Sunday, he looked half decent at times, but no getting any service. And the goal came from his wide play, funnily enough, because he's a striker. But the goal comes from him being out wide. That's not why we signed a striker to play out wide. But you can see he's got lightning pace. For a big guy, 6'3", is it? 6'3", 6'4" or something. Big guy. Bags of pace. I like to see that, you know. But I think we still need another striker and 2 centre halves, to be honest with you. And we definitely need another midfielder. We need somebody in beside Callum McGregor. A playmaker, a ball winner. That type of player. Because we haven't got anybody at Celtic like that. We haven't got anybody. Engels can't do that. Nygren can't do it. Hatate can't do it. Hatate's right off the boil. Cracking player that he is. He's just been, in my opinion anyway, the last few months he's been really poor. So we definitely need another central midfielder, Xander.
Yeah,
forward thinking.
Yeah, it's a rock and a hard place, and that's the way the board are looking at it anyway, with Martin only here until the summer, John, and then we'll have a new manager again. So, you know, maybe they're holding back in funds because, you know, Martin is only here for a few months. I don't know, John, but there's something not right at the club. Where is Martin and Neil's funds for players, John? 2 loan signings, John. Araujo and Quintana, 2 loan signings, John, and that is it. That is unbelievable. It really is, considering all the injuries we've got, suspensions now as well. Players getting sent out on loan, blah, blah, blah. We need bodies in the door, John, and the board are still not getting these, you know, permanent players signed, John, shall we say, splashing a wee bit of cash, John, because I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I really do. Martin and Neil needs quality in the door. He really does. They're really stitching them up a wee bit here, I think, the board. As regards to, you know, Kieran Bowie, he was linked to Celtic, wasn't he? And maybe he still is, but Verona have had a £5 million bid rejected, John. I don't think he's worth any more than that. So if I was Celtic, I would step away from that one. Kieran Bowie, Hibs.
I says it to you when we were first linked with Kieran Bowie. I don't want him at Celtic. He ain't Celtic quality. I was watching him again. The Hibs game, who were they playing at the weekend? I can't remember who they were playing, but I was watching Bowie. Falkirk, wasn't it? Falkirk absolutely thumped him.
Yeah, 4-1 went it. Yeah, because I'm going to go through the predictor for the last 3 podcasts, John. I've not given any results for the predictor in the last 3 podcasts, so we will go through that a wee bit later. And by the way, the correct score competition, nobody got that. 2-2. There was a lot sitting on 2-1, including yourself, John. 15 minutes to go at 2-1. The predictor is it was shattered with that, you know, red card. It really was. But no, what were you saying about Kieran Bowie there, John?
No, I was watching the Hibs, Falkirk against Hibs game on Saturday, and the guy's honestly right run. I just don't see why Celtic would even have a modicum of interest in that boy. Does nothing for me. I've watched him a few times this season, and I says to you a few months ago when we were linked to him that I don't want him at Celtic. He's not good enough for Celtic. That isn't what we need. We need better quality than that. If we're going to have any aspirations of winning trophies again, winning the league, we need a better striker than Kieran Bowie. We need better players, better quality than that. And the same with that wee guy that's the wee Motherwell player, Malawisi or something like that. I can't remember his name, something like that. Yeah. No good enough to play for Celtic. That's why they're at Motherwell and Hibs.
Yeah, there's a Motherwell supporter on the comments. And by the way, I want to apologise to everybody for the podcast over the last 3 weeks being a wee bit upside down. Just some personal stuff going on. And things will be back to normal as of next week. The comments will return, etc. All that kind of stuff. That will be back to normal next week. So just plug along with us. Stay with us just now. We'll be back to normal soon enough. What was I talking about there? I can't even remember what I was talking about. But yeah, somebody said in the comments that, you know, don't be stingy. Get in with a £10 million bid for that. You know, that boy you were talking about from Motherwell, John. Don't you know who it is? I never heard of him. The winger boy, the wee winger. Who is decent wee player, but no. That's a reply to the guy. Yeah, you know, Buttonhole Albion, they'll be in with a £200,000 bid, and January the 31st. No, we're not paying £10 million for any player from Motherwell.
No, we've never had much success players-wise from Motherwell. I think we've had a couple. Scott McDonald was quite successful, and Phil O'Donnell, of course.
Yeah, prime player.
Aye, so there's a few that springs to mind, but I always get back to the last one we got from Motherwell, that David Turnbull. What an absolute donkey he was. And I was arguing with guys and chats about that, guys. The guy's an utter donkey, mate. Don't be stupid saying he's world class and all that, guys. I mean, I don't know if I've got a good eye for a player or something like that, but every time I've says I don't want a player at Celtic, it turns out they are actual donkeys. David Turnbull is a prime example.
So, it's just your choice of words is quite funny, actually. Sorry for hearing some noise in the background there. I'm moving some stuff about. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, John. But no way. Is it Malik Wisher or something? The boy's name is. I can't even remember the boy's name. He's a winger. He is a decent player, but once they come to Celtic, they bright lights shine in their eyes, don't they? I think I replied to that boy. Yeah, they were wanting 10 million for Karamoko Dembele, and where is he just now? Queen's Park Rangers, sitting middle of the table, 1 goal all season. You know, John, no assists. You know, that's what happens to these boys when they move away from Scotland. Anyway, and by the way, I forgot to mention good luck to Shin Yamada at German second division side Munster. Good luck to the wee man. Maybe just needs that wee break away from Celtic and may return an even better player. Right, John. All right, but no, £10 million for Motherwell there. Anyway, some people in the comments are quite funny, actually, John. Just trying to think any other news that's been happening around about Celtic. Sarachi, he's been out for 7 weeks. Can you believe that? That's now 7 weeks that boy has been out of action for Celtic. He's another loan player, John. He's another one that's only on loan. But he is a very good player, a very decent left back. But there is no return date for him either, John. So no return date. He's been out for 7 weeks already. We're now nearly into February, John. I don't know. I don't know what we do with Sarachi, John. But obviously, we're sticking with Kieran Tierney just now. He's doing a decent job under Martin O'Neill. But no, with 7 weeks, John, and only maybe 3.5 months left in the season, I don't know if we're going to see this boy again.
I've no idea because I've not heard anything about his injury. And there's been no updates. Cracking player. Love him. I think he's a cracking left back. I'd love to see him back. Fills me with confidence when I see him on the park. Kieran Tierney, of course, went off with an injury on Sunday, didn't he? He was holding his hamstring, so possibly he might be injured as well.
Yeah, they're beginning to pile up again, the injuries. I'm going to go through that in the build-up to the Utrecht game. We will do that. But Sarachi, it was really, really good for Celtic, John, and he's, you know, the worry for me is the fact that there's no return date. No, they give you an estimate to when he's going to return. There's absolutely nothing, you know. He's just added to that long list of injuries, I suppose. Right, I just wanted to have a wee quick word before we have a wee word on the Hearts game. The fixtures for both Celtic and Rangers, John, I was having a wee look at them, the last 5 or 6 for each club. Rangers 2-1 win against St Mirren at home, a 2-0 win against Aberdeen at home with no manager, 2-0 win against Aberdeen away from home with no manager, another home game against Annan Athletic, another home game against Ludogorets, another home game against Dundee, whereas on the other hand, Celtic were away to Motherwell, away to Falkirk, away to Auckland Talbot, away to Bologna, away to Hearts. It's just been a really, really tough run of home game against Dundee, and amongst that, by the way, but a really, really tough run of games for Celtic, John.
Aye, we've seen this last season as well. The amount of away fixtures that Celtic seem to get, and it seems to catch up at the end of the season. You get a few home games in a row. It's always the same. Celtic's run of home games is always near the end of the season, when the league's more or less tied up. But look, if that's the case this season, we'll welcome it because we might need it, to be honest with you, because Celtic's away form's been really poor. You can't blame anybody but the officials for the result of the weekend. It's no Celtic's fault, even though I thought Celtic were poor. I think they were hard done by with that sending off, as every Celtic fan does.
Aye, of course, John. And we're going to go into that in a wee minute, actually, John. We will return to that in just a wee minute, and then we'll do the Utrecht game, which is vital as well, by the way. Vital. Because if you're in, still in Europe come February, it's a great, a great thing for Celtic to be in Europe come February, John. So we'll go into that in a wee minute. But the reason why I mentioned all those games for Rangers at home and all those games for Celtic away from home is because I had a look at the next 5 fixtures for both clubs, John. Rangers, Porto away, Hibs away, Kilmarnock at home, Stranraer at home, and Motherwell away. So they've got a run of 3 very tough away games there: Hibs, Porto, and Motherwell. Whether Celtic are at home to Utrecht, at home to Falkirk, away to Aberdeen, at home to Dundee, and at home to Livingston. So, that Celtic Park grass must be absolutely immaculate, John. Not a blade of grass out of place. But starting on Thursday night, John, we start a wee run of home games.
Aye, the away game to Aberdeen's always a tough game, innit? I mean, I don't know. It's just one of the games that you got up to Pittodrie. I'm never confident getting up to Pittodrie. But it's good to get a couple of home games under your belt. A couple of tough ones. Looking at the Rangers games, Motherwell away from home is going to be tricky. Hibs away from home, easy. Hibs never show up against them. Very seldom.
Yeah.
What about the Hearts games? What's their games?
Yeah, I've not even looked at their games. That's how much I think they're going to win the league. I've not even looked at their run of fixtures, John. But no, I know what you're saying. They are top of the league. They are 4 points ahead at the top of the league. And I did say, John, on the last podcast that a draw between Celtic and Hearts would only favour one club, John, and that's exactly what happened.
Aye, well, that is what happened. And look, you can just go back to the appointment of Wilfred Nancy. It set us back. 8 games he was in charge and lost 6 of them. 5 in the league. I mean, it's just I'll never forget that period in Celtic's history. Celtic actually hired him. I seen somebody sticking up for him. Can't remember who it was. But I don't know, he seems to think he was hard done by with getting sacked at Celtic. How can anybody defend that? How can you defend a record like that and then say, he was hard done by, he needed more time? Try to kid.
Yeah, how much more time do you need? How many more defeats must we suffer? Matt O'Neill's still unbeaten. Although we were robbed at the weekend, he's still unbeaten since he's came in. Absolutely tremendous. Martin O'Neill, what a manager he is. Absolutely love the wee man to bits. Legend, absolute legend. Quick look at the Hearts fixtures then, John, since you brought it up. And they've got a really tough run of fixtures, actually. The next game is an away game against Dundee United, John, in the Premiership. Then another away game to St Mirren in the Premiership. Then they're at home to Hibernian, John, a home game against Hibernian, John. So obviously they're in the Scottish Cup game. There's no Europa League games either. They can totally concentrate on the league, John. They've no cup games whatsoever. Maybe that's why they've got a wee bit more energy. They had the full 8 days to prepare for Celtic as well. And then they've got Rangers, John, after that. So that's 4 very tough games. Dundee United away, St Mirren away, Hibs at home, and then Rangers at Ibrox, John. And after that, they've got Falkirk, who are absolutely flying just now as well, John, at Tynecastle. So a run of 5 very tough fixtures for them.
Very tough fixtures, aye. And I think, look, I was bumming up Falkirk for the last few weeks. I think Falkirk, since I watched them playing against Celtic, and the first game we played against them at Celtic Park, they were a very tough team to break down, very hard team to beat. They play better football than Hearts. Hearts are very much schoolboy tactics, and they just bluter it up the park and everybody runs after it. That's what I took for that game, by the way, on Sunday, watching Hearts. A big bluter up the pitch and the whole team runs after the ball, their whole team. I thought, that reminds me when I was 7 years old playing in St Mary's.
Yeah.
When you're a wee boy kick your ball apart and everybody runs after it. That's Derek McInnes's tactics.
That's quite poor, isn't it? Yeah, blitter. I like that word, blitter. I like that as well. Yeah, you're right, John. They're a very poor team, John. There are a couple of injuries and they couldn't beat a 10-man Celtic team at home after a grueling game against Bologna with 10 men as well, John. And they had that, as I say, that full 8 days to rest. And they still couldn't beat us.
No, the Celtic players looked knackered on Sunday. I have to be honest, they looked tired. They didn't look like they were up for chasing the ball. But they defended pretty well, I thought, even though they conceded 2 goals. But I thought the Celtic players that were there defended pretty well, but apart from Austin Trusty, heart in your mouth moments with him, I think. But overall, I think the defence looked okay. But they were up against it. Every time Hearts got the ball, it was just leather it up the park towards Austin Trusty and hope for the best. And then you get 11 donkeys running after it. Well, 10 outfield donkeys running after it. That's what it was like. Honestly, to me, that's what that reminded me of. Being in primary 3 or 4 when you're a wee boy and you kick your ball and the whole team runs after it. That's what I was like, how can you no beat this rubbish? Because they're absolutely guff. I keep saying it and I'll say it again. They're garbage, Sander. That Hearts team are absolutely rotten. And I don't know how they get away with that day tactics. Wait till Falkirk get a hold of them. Rangers will beat them. Hibs will probably take a point off of them. Dundee United, I think they'll beat them. I don't rate Dundee United. I think they're quite poor. And they maybe take a point at St Mirren.
Yeah. And after that, John, they've got Aberdeen as well. So 6 very tough games actually. The top of the table teams, aren't they? Apart from St Mirren, obviously, who are not top in the top 6 at all.
They'll definitely won't win the league. By the way, I'll guarantee any Hearts fan listen to this, you have no chance of winning that league playing like that. No chance.
Yeah, the worry is the Rangers, John. They seem to have came from nowhere. And obviously all these home games helps. It does help when you get a lot of these teams like Kilmarnock and whoever they played at the weekend, Dundee, St Mirren, all these teams at home. That does help. But we do have that run of games as well. And while we're talking about Hearts, John, let's get into that game for a wee 5-10 minutes because it was disgusting, John. Let's be honest, it was absolutely disgusting what happened to Celtic and Martin O'Neill at the weekend there. To be sent down to 10 men after playing almost 70 minutes in midweek, and just a couple of days before, John, with 10 men. It's as if, they just did not want Celtic to win, let's be honest, John, because that was never, ever a red card in his life.
No, look, without a word of lie, but I'm watching that game and I see that incident happening and I've automatically thought, yellow card, the boy's going away for goal. Liam Skills is running in as well. Liam Skills is ahead of Trusty.
Yeah.
Running in. The boy's kicked out towards the corner flag. And the boy dives. He just dives. They've got a hold each other's jumpers. 50-50. The boy dives. The boy's going out for probably a goal kick or something. It's going nowhere near the goal. The ball has to be going through own goal. It wasn't a clear goal scoring chance with the ball being hit. It's been hit wide. It's not been hit through the middle. It's been hit wide. It's not sending off in a million years. Anybody that is honest with themselves and look at that and imagine that happening to your team, the ball going out for a goal kick or whatever. I don't know if it was going out for a goal kick, but it was heading kind of towards the corner flag, that direction. It was hit out towards there. So if the boy's played out that way, it's no directly through and goal. He's got to chase that down, catch it, then cut back towards the goal. And he's took a dive. It's as simple as that. That isn't even a yellow card.
Yeah, and obviously beating on the VAR. Where VAR shouldn't be intervening in decisions like that, John. That's not what VAR is there for. And there you go. An on-field decision is given as a red card. Absolutely pathetic. And then you've got wallopers like Chris Boyd on Sky saying things like 1 red card in 87 games and they're moaning. Chris Boyd, he should be honestly sacked anyway. I've said that for months and months. But John, that makes it even worse because we're not a dirty team. We don't get red cards. And that makes the actual decision absolutely 100 times worse, John, because, we've not had a red card domestically in all those games. So it makes the decision, a very, very poor decision, John, because the players know what to do. They know not to get sent off. And that ball is running away from goal. Trusty has got him covered. And you've got Scales standing on the penalty spot as well, just in case he does get by him. And he gives a red card. It really is disgusting, John.
It is. I mean, it's appalling. I don't even want to think about it because I know Eve, just the second it happened, I'm thinking he's getting a yellow card for this. I never expected that to go to VAR. I'm absolutely shocked that went to VAR. Because in my opinion, the boys dived. They've got a grab at each other and he's felt an arm on his jumper, pulling his jumper. And he's got a Hoddy Trusty's jumper as well, by the way. He falls down, he just falls down. That's what Hearts players do. They just fall and they get a free kick. We can talk about that later. They just fall and you get a free kick.
Sorry, you go, sorry.
I'm just saying, it's never a red card. We've covered it. It's never a red card in a million years. What can I say? It's not a red card.
Just tell the truth, it's cheating. We've been robbed of 3 points.
Of course it's cheating. There's no doubt it's cheating. You can't say a ball going away for goal, going out towards the corner flag. It's fair play for a red card. The ball's got to be going through on goal. You've got to be through on goal and get pulled back for it to be a red card. The ball isn't through on goal. The ball's going towards the corner flag. Plus, there's a defender covering. It's not a red card. You want to talk about why was the player no booked that pulled Nygren down right into the box and he gets pulled down right outside the box? Why was he no booked for that, the Hearts player?
Yeah, we could go on and on about decisions, John, like that. It happens every single week. And in fact, I wanted to have a wee quick word on that. You're talking about you just fall, you get the free kick if it's against Celtic. Celtic normally play every game, unless it's in Europe. Domestically, you've got 70% possession, maybe even up to 80% possession in every single game that we play, John, right? So if we've got all that possession in every single game, John, why... I don't understand this. Why do we give away 3 times more fouls than the opposite team who have only got 20% possession of the ball? We give away more fouls than the team that have not got the ball. How does that make sense?
I know. I mean, I was just thinking back to you saying the last time Celtic had a red card was 87 games ago. Who was that against Hearts?
Yeah, Yang, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I can't remember. I would have a guess it was that Hearts game where there was also massive controversy surrounding it. You're right. Celtic's got all the possession in most of these games. That's why we don't get red cards. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but we give away 3 times more fouls than what the opposite team are giving away, John. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Quintana, John. Very decent player, as you said earlier on. Kamachara, the big 6'3" plus centre forward striker. He can also play on the wing as well, which you could tell with that second goal put us in the lead. Decent big forward, John. He's going to be good for us. Actually, he looks good. He's got a lot of pace, like you say, a lot of strength as well. Didn't really get the service against Hearts, especially that first half where I thought we were quite poor. But Kamachara looks very, very good, John. But it was the goal from Nygren, John, that took us all by surprise. We spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. Sky, thinking they were very smart, giving us the stats on the last time we scored a direct free kick against Real Madrid's Jota, and even further behind domestically. We mentioned all this 2 weeks ago, John, about Celtic not scoring direct from a free kick. And up steps, Nygren, and what a goal it was, John. Beautiful finish from Nygren.
It was beautiful, aye. Now, we spoke about this. I've been talking about this for 2 years. When was the last time Celtic scored direct from a free kick?
Yeah, we also spoke about we need to get a player in that can score a goal from a free kick, because we get a lot of free kicks. We're an attacking team and we don't have anybody that can score direct from a free kick. It looks as though Nygren's been sent out onto that training field, John, by Martin O'Neill.
It was it looks like it. I mean, that was a stunning finish from Nygren. I think that's the first free kick he's took. But it was a stunning free kick right into the top corner, bent around the wall. Absolutely beautiful finish. But my problem with Nygren is he doesn't do enough in the actual game on the field of play. He doesn't get involved enough for me. Don't know if he's lazy. Don't know if he's scared he gets injured or something like that. He's scared to go up for a header. He's scared to go in for a tackle. We don't need that when we're fighting for a league, Xander. I know he scored a beautiful free kick, but Andy's a top scorer. But you've got to do more than that in the centre of the park. You can't hide in a game and just score a free kick and think that's enough. You've got to do more than that if you want to win a league title.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I thought the midfield in the first half was non-existent, especially after the goal, John, especially after we went ahead. I think we sort of went into our shell again. We have to get that, drilled out of the players, John. We can't go into our shell, especially at places like Tynecastle.
Right.
And then the goal we went 2-1 up, John. The goal from Yang, a great run from Convinchara, John. What a run from him. Great strength, great ability. Andy sees the player in the box, slides a beautiful cross across him for Yang for a tap in, John. I think, but with any luck, I think we've got a player on our hands in Convinchara.
I don't know. We'll wait and see. We've only seen one game, and it's a tough game to go to Tynecastle. It always is tough, no matter if you're 10 points ahead of them or 15 points ahead or whatever, or 6 points behind, as the case is right now. It doesn't matter what it is. You go to Tynecastle, you're getting a tough game. They raise their game against Celtic every single time they play them. But look, we're up against it. The boy looks a half-decent play. He's got a bit of strength, a few long balls set up to him. He kind of tries to hold it up and stuff. But it's hard to judge a player at one game at Tynecastle, isn't it? It was a frantic game. There was absolutely zero quality in that game at all, apart from the free kick and the Celtic goal. They were two bits of quality. But other than that, it was a schoolboy game, Xander. It was like watching primary fives.
Yeah, the concern for me in the game clearly is that another 2 goals conceded for Kasper Schmeichel. John, I know we were down to 10 men for the equaliser, the second equaliser, to make it 2-2. But it is another 2 goals conceded from set pieces, John, corner kicks. Martin needs his own players into that defence, John. Obviously, Austin Trusty was off the park for the second one. He had to bring on Big Dane Murray. But Martin O'Neill, he needs his own defenders in there, John. He needs a couple of centre-halves in there that are dominant in the box when it comes to corner kicks.
Well, Martin had players like Big Bobo Balde and Johan Mialbi.
Valgarin.
Use Valgarin, aye. Oh, big brave guys, battled for everything, never let anybody beat them in there, especially at corner kicks and all that. That was Martin O'Neill's strong point when he was at Celtic. He had an absolutely rock solid defence. Sadly, right now, we can't say we've got any defenders we can rely on. Maybe Liam Scales. Carter Vickers obviously injured, but even looking at Carter Vickers and Liam Scales against Mialbi and Bobo Balde, I know what centre-half pairing I would pick.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Yeah, and in saying that, John, big Carter Vickers, title after title with a big man, Yeah, you've got to bear that in mind as well, I suppose. But I know what you're saying, that extra strength, that extra... you can imagine big Carter Vickers with, a more... like a Bobo type beside him, John, or a Mialbi type beside him. That would be absolutely brilliant as well, I suppose, John, wouldn't it? So, yeah, that was Martin O'Neill's strong point back in the day, and he just doesn't have that just now, John. We're conceding far too many goals from set plays. Kasper Schmeichel, very decent goalkeeper, very good goalkeeper. In fact, Kasper Schmeichel still pulls off some great saves. But, I can't even remember for the last count that many goals that is he's conceded this season, John. But that's another 2 to add to the mix.
Aye. I can't blame him for the goals right enough. You can blame the defence for that. You've got to start with the defence. You can't blame anybody else. The goalkeeper's only 6 feet tall, Kasper Schmeichel. He's not that tall.
Yeah.
And he's not one of these big, tall, brave goalkeepers. And I get back to this Celtic team the way it is right now. That's no Martin O'Neill's type of players. Martin O'Neill's type of players they were all battlers. They fought hard, every single one of them. You can get through that whole team. Phil Harron, Mialbe, Bobo Baldi, Paul Lambert, Alan Thompson, Neil Lennon, Chris Sutton, John Hartson, all fighters, Sander. Petrov. You know what I mean? All battlers. They fought for everything. And the Celtic team right now, compared to that team, it seems a bit harsh, but they're no Martin O'Neill type players. That's what I'm saying. They players weren't signed to play a Martin O'Neill type game. You know, they were signed to play a sort of a more flamboyant possession-based game. But
yeah.
They're no big, strong players, and there's a lot of long balls. And I don't think these players they weren't signed to play a long ball games under.
Yeah, that's it, John. Absolutely bang on. And I've got a wee stat here for you, actually, John, as regards to the goalkeeper. We're not picking the goalkeeper. We do realise he's a top quality goalkeeper, Kasper. This is the defence in general. But Kasper has conceded 38 goals now this season, John. 38 goals. That's 21 goals in the league already this season conceded for the Great Dane. And the rest is all through cup games and Europa League, John. So 21 in the league, and I make that 17, is it? And the rest of the competitions, John, 38 goals conceded for a very, very sloppy defence.
It's a lot, isn't it? It's a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
We've got Sinisalo on the bench. I just think it's time to give the boy a chance. I know I keep saying it. Kasper Schmeichel was a world-class keeper in his days, 40 years old now. And there's Craig Gordon at the other side of the park. How old is he? 43 or something?
Yeah, he's a Ferro. Yeah, 43, John. I think you're bang on, actually. Yeah, I think I heard that in the radio. Yeah, he's 43 now.
43.
Still some goalkeeper, isn't he?
Craig Gordon, still get some decent attributes, Craig Gordon. But Big Kasper kept us in the game with that mistake from Austin Trusty, didn't he?
He did.
What was he trying to do there, by the way, Trusty? What was he trying to do? He jumped up with his 2 legs off the ground and the ball comes off his shin and the Hearts player's in and goals. What was that? What was that?
Don't know, John. Yeah, the ball comes off his Yamada and the ball's the boy's right through and goal, John, and it's a great save, actually, John. That's a world-class save. So, yeah, he's got his good points as well, clearly. But, John, 38 goals conceded, and there's still, something like 14, in fact, more than that, including the cup games, European games, John. We could have as much as 20 games still to go this season. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens if he's going to go with Sinisalo, but I can't see it, John.
No, I can't see it myself. I think Kasper's there for the experience. Look, he is still a good goalkeeper, and you've got to remember, probably half of their goals was down to defensive blunders. And some of them were down to Kasper's blunders as well, kicking it straight out to the opposition players,
Yeah, that's it. All right, John, we take the draw, we move on. We've got a few games at Celtic Park coming up in the league. We've got another cup game at home as well against Dundee, and we've got a European home game as well. So we've got a wee run of games at home. So we'll wait and see what happens with both Rangers and Hearts with some tough games coming up. So we'll wait and see, John. Maybe it's our turn to go on a wee run. But Martin O'Neill's still unbeaten since he's came back to the club in the second spell this season, John. Long may that continue. And I can't wait to May, John, if we start putting sort of run of results together. I can't wait, because if we win this league, as you said a few weeks ago, John, it'll be one of the best league titles we've ever won in our history.
Only for the reason that Hearts have celebrated winning the league 3 times now. I mean, That's why. They won't win the league. If anybody's going to win the league outside Celtic, it'll be Rangers. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes about it. Hearts will not win the league. I'll put money on it with any Hearts fan if you're listening. Come on here. 100 quid. I'll bet you 100 quid Hearts won't win the league, and I don't even gamble. But I'm confident Hearts will not win the league. Trust me. Do you see the state of their fans celebrating all that? Their faces all twisted and all that when they were attacking. Oh, make you sick, didn't it?
Yeah, it's actually embarrassing, John, that they celebrated a draw against 10 men like that, against a team that was on their knees. Help from the officials, help from VAR, and they celebrated a point, John, at home. It's actually quite embarrassing. My face was all twisted and red with embarrassment, to be honest with you. So, yeah, it's quite poor, quite poor. They won the draw with Celtic at Tynecastle against 10 men Cup, didn't they?
By the way, I don't think Celtic did enough to deserve winning that game anyway. I thought Celtic were really poor, Xander. But you can't expect any more. Like you say, they played 70 minutes with 10 men against Bologna. But I think they were dead in their feet, the Celtic players, from pretty much the get-go, I think. But I think overall, just it's to be expected because of what happened on the Thursday. I just think Celtic were really poor. And did they do enough to win the game? Probably not. But that doesn't take away from the fact that we're cheated.
Yeah. The fact of the matter is, John, we would have won the game with 11 men. We would have went on and won that. I can
absolutely. Absolutely. I totally 100% agree with you. I think we would have just held on for the 2-1. And I think Celtic were holding on for the 1-0, by the way. I think Celtic tried to defend it. Hearts scored. Then Celtic scored their second goal and tried to defend it again.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it, John. But, there's nothing you can do against cheating. That's the bottom line, John. That's why Martin O'Neill was so angry. Very angry. I've never seen him so angry in that interview. In fact, that interview video, John, is absolutely flying, John, by Martin O'Neill. Absolutely raging with that decision, wasn't he?
Oh, he was raging. No wonder. I loved his comment about the blue card thing. That was brilliant. Nice. What a comment that was.
Brilliant. Absolutely top class, and that's why we love him. It doesn't beat about the bush, John. Wasn't a red card, it was a blue card. And we all know what he means by that, John. Absolutely tremendous.
It may as well just saying it was a maroon card.
Yeah, that's it, John. Yeah. No, because you know they're not going to win the league. That's why he's saying that, John. You're right. You're right. Martin O'Neill agrees with you because it's a blue card, John. That's a wee helping hand there, isn't it? And of course, Rangers get their penalty at nothing each against Dundee at Ibrox in the second half to dig them out of a hole. Absolutely pathetic, it really is. But you know something, John? That's going to happen. It's been happening for decades. It's now down to Celtic, isn't it? What we do next.
Well, this is it. We can only look after ourselves when you're Celtic. Celtic have always had to look after themselves. They've always had to battle the officials as well. You're always up against dodgy officials. There isn't a good official in Scotland. There's nobody. If anybody thinks officials are doing Celtic any favours, have a look at that game the other day there and get back to us and let us know the officials were doing us favours.
Yeah. And it's the same in Europe. It's not any better in Europe either. So, all right, John, we'll park it. It's gone. It's away. It's a point. A point away from home is actually quite decent against the team at the top of the league, but it was how we got that point, John. It was absolutely sickening. It really was disgusting. Officiating in this country is beyond a joke. Utrecht, John, Thursday night. Big game on Thursday night on TNT Sports, 8 o'clock kickoff. Full house at Celtic Park. Simple as, we win, we qualify, John. So that's the bottom line into Utrecht game. I know maybe a lot of the fans are maybe after the Hearts game, you don't know, even looking forward to it, or they want to get to the next league game, whatever, John, I don't know. But for me, it's a great chance, John, to qualify into the, it's not the round of 16, it will be the playoff round, John, but it's still qualification into Europe away into February, John, and with some decent draws, John, some decent, teams we play against, we could go quite far, I think, especially with some signings. But, we need to beat Utrecht first, and that's not going to be easy. Although they are a team in disarray, about to sack their manager. No won a game in in fact, they've lost all of the last 5 games. So, John, even at that, they'll come to Celtic Park and they'll play like Barcelona.
I don't know anything about Utrecht. Don't know anything about them. I don't think they'll be playing like Barcelona, mind you, especially if they've lost the last 5 games. I mean, I look, I've said to you time and time again, I'm not interested in the Europa League. That game on Sunday was the biggest game for me. I still don't know if I want Celtic to qualify. I want Celtic fully focused on that league table. But that's not going to happen, Sander. The Celtic team are going to get there and they're going to want to be in Europe. That's just the way it is. The football players all want to play in Europe. And I wouldn't be surprised if Celtic looked at that game as the most important one, to be honest with you. I really don't know. It might just be talking nonsense, but Celtic will look at this as a very, very important game and they'll want to go and win it. And to be honest with you, I think they will win it.
Yeah, and even with a draw, we can still qualify for that one, John, even with a draw. So we'll wait to see what happens in regards to that one. The referees for this one are all from Finland, John. That's including the VAR officials. Referee and VAR are all from Finland, so we don't need to mention their names because we don't know who they are anyway. But the one that stuck out for me with this game, John, is Barkas. He returns to the East End of Glasgow on Thursday night. Don't know if he'll be playing or not, mind you, but he is their goalkeeper, John. Vasilis Barkas back at Celtic Park. That must send a shiver or two down your spine.
Oh, it doesn't half, aye. Aye, there's a COVID season boy in it.
Yeah.
Paid a lot of money for him as well.
Yeah,
it'd be good to see him back right enough because they'll be guaranteed 5 or 6 goals.
Well, you do realise now, John, that if he is playing, he'll play like the Schmeichel of Manchester United, John. No Casper, he's da. He'll play an absolute blinder against us. That's an absolute guarantee that'll be the case, John. But no, they're under severe pressure, John. They are really a team not performing. Let me run through the last 5 games. 1-0 loss to Sparta, 2-0 loss to Genk, 2-1 loss to Volendam, sorry. A 2-1 loss to FC 20 and a 2-1 loss to PSV Eindhoven as well, John. So 5 defeats in a row. We just hope that's going to be 6 come Thursday night.
I think it will be. I think Celtic will be all right. Have had a few days rest by the time that game comes around. I think we'll be all right there, Xander. I think Celtic will win this one. And if they don't, I'll neither be up nor down.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Concentration on the league title, John. Like Hearts, they can totally focus on the league title, but they're not a successful club like Celtic are, John. So we want to push and go as far as possible in the Europa League, because you've got to bear in mind as well, John, that the Rangers, they are also out of Europe. So, both the teams can concentrate on the league, whereas Celtic are still, playing on many fronts.
Now, this is the thing that's getting to me right now is this European stuff. I wanted the players' focus to be on the league. And like you said earlier, that's Hearts' focus is entirely on the league. They're not in any cup competitions, they're not in Europe. All they've got to focus on is the league, and they still won't win it, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's it, John. I don't think they'll win the league. I don't think they're anywhere near good enough to win the league. But they are 4 points clear at the top of the league, and they're there for a reason, I suppose. But they can put all their efforts into the league games, John. Everything they've got goes into the league games, whereas Celtic, on the other hand, have their fingers in many pies, shall we say. So, all right, Celtic are 24th in the Europa League. Utrecht are 34th in the Europa League. They're already out, John. So we don't know what kind of team they're going to play, John, if they're going to rest some players for league fixtures, because that's obviously more important to them. We don't know what's going to happen as regards to that, but no doubt they will play the strongest possible team.
Again, I've no idea. I've not even looked into it because I've got no interest in it. And like I keep saying, I still want Celtic to win it. I'd love Celtic just to win it. I always want to see Celtic win, no matter who it is they're playing. You want to see Celtic winning. It's just a pity that we're, struggling in the league this season. Or I would be looking forward to it. But because we're struggling this season, my focus with Celtic is entirely on that league table, the Scottish Premier League. It's very important this season for Celtic. You know what I mean? I just can't believe we're sitting third in the league right now, Xander. I find that hard to take in.
Yeah, of course, and that will change, and that will change. But as regards to the European game, a good run in Europe will boost the confidence as well, John. If we qualify on Thursday night, that would definitely boost the players as well, John. And then we're hoping to get a few extra bodies in before the 31st of January, John, which is looking more and more highly unlikely. 2 loan signs, 3 if you include the one from the summer, and Sriracha as well, John. Okay, players out for this one. Johnny Kenny, he's a doubt. Iniacho, he's also a doubt, but he is back to training. Vanchara, John, the big striker who set up the second goal against Hearts, he is ineligible because we submitted the team a way back months ago, John, didn't we? So we couldn't add any players to that. That's why Araujo is also ineligible, John. So Araujo ineligible, Vanchara ineligible, Hatate is suspended, John, and Welsh is ineligible as well, John. Stephen Welsh, you spoke about him earlier on. He is also ineligible. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out, not including all the regular ones that are out. Like your Osmond is out, John. Jota is out. Johnston is out. And Cameron Carter-Vickers is also out of this one. So I'll make that 10 players out of this game, John. That's a lot of players that Martin O'Neill's not got to pick from.
It is. It's a hell of a lot of players, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think we should still have enough quality there to win the game. Although we'll be playing with Johnny Kenny, he's injured, isn't he? Especially we'll be playing with kind of inexperienced striker up front, but he's not even there. He's going to play up front. It's going to have to be Dyson Maeda, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. That's the only option I've got. Is Dyson, certainly be Tenekte, Dyson and Yang on the right. But that's your job to do that, John. I'm going to quickly run through the Utrecht starting 11, potential starting 11, predicted starting 11, shall we say. But first of all, I'd like to quickly run through the betting on this one. And I can't believe that these betting odds as well, John, considering we've got 10 players out, and it's 10 first team players, no 10 reserve players. I can't believe these odds. We've got 1-4 Celtic, 7-2 the draw, and 9-1 Utrecht to win the game, John. I think that's unbelievable considering all the players we've got out.
Aye, well, it's at Celtic Park though, isn't it? And it's against a team that's struggling. I mean, I take it bookies don't look into players that's missing. I really don't know, but aye, it's a good odds. Good odds, that.
Yeah, that's it. 1-4 and 9-1. That's unbelievable. I mean, the other team, a Dutch team that are, they're decent. They've got a bit of pedigree there, but obviously, as you say, they're off form just now, John. But Celtic aren't exactly on form either, are they? Okay, players out. Players out for Utrecht. Jensen, the midfielder, he's out. Holler, the big striker, he's a doubt, but could feature, but he's a doubt as it stands. And David Mean, the striker, he is also out of this one with an injury as well. Earhuds, John, the centre-back, is also out for them. So 4 out for Utrecht. I'll quickly run through what I think the starting 11 is going to be for them, and then you can give me your predicted starting 11 with all those missing players, injured and suspended, John, and ineligible players. There's quite a few there. So that's not going to be easy. But Barkas in goal, possibly. Merkin, Erdhausen, Dryden, Versland, Ngwanga, De Witt, Bosdogan, Kathleen, Rodriguez, and possibly Holler if he is indeed fit up front for them, John. That's my predicted starting 11 for Utrecht. What's your thoughts on this Celtic starting line-up on Thursday night, John?
Some cracking names there, aren't there? Holler. Yeah. Give us a holler. Who was the other one? Kathleen,
yeah.
Big Kathy.
Apologies to the big Cathys out there.
It's funny when you mention Kathy, it's always Big Kathy, and it's never wee Kathy.
Yes, that's Big Kathy. Aye, Big Kathy, I know a few.
Big Kathy and Big Betty in it.
Aye, that's it. Kathleen, Yeah, he'll be the one that comes back to bite us, Johnny.
No chance.
We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Right, John, start the 11. Wait, go for it, John. What are you thinking?
Starting 11 for Celtic. Schmeichel. Trusty.
Yeah.
Liam Scales. Kieran Tierney. Anthony Ralston. Bit of kind of experience for Europe. Get Tony Ralston in there rather than young Donovan, you know.
Yeah.
And centre of the park, Callum McGregor. That picks itself really, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's suspended, so it's going to be McGregor, Engels and Nygren.
Yeah.
And up front, like he says earlier, diving through the middle with Tenete and Yang on the flanks.
Aye, that's it. It can't be anything else. It just means the bench is going to be very weak. Who knows? We're going to put the likes of like McCowan on the bench, isn't it? Players like that who we need to call upon.
Oh, that's it, isn't it? There isn't much quality left on the bench.
Yeah.
If you get 10 players missing, you're not going to have much quality left, are you? Aye. But that'll be the starting 11 anyway. But who's on the bench? I really don't know.
Yeah, Dane Murray will be another one. He'll be on the bench. You know, players like that, John. As you say, young Donovan, he'll be on the bench.
Aye.
And all these type of guys, you know. All right.
Striker-wise, we haven't got anybody.
No, nothing.
Unless any actual's ready.
Well, that's a good point, John. You know, these injuries, and he actually was back at training 2 weeks ago. So where is he? Did he pick up another injury in training? Who knows, John? Who knows? Yeah, but any actual, hopefully he's actually on the bench, John, because that would be a bonus, wouldn't it?
I don't think Martin O'Neill's the kind of guy that rushes players back. Alistair Johnson was rushed back, wasn't he? Gets injured again. I think Sirachi was rushed back as well, injured. Carter Vickers. I don't know, but we're lacking in quality right now. That team needs a good few signings. Look, it's not going to happen. We're not going to get signings before this window shuts. We're going to get maybe one or two, if we're lucky. But we're not going to get the kind of quality needed to compete in Europe, trust me.
No, it's not looking good, is it, John? And if there was ever a season that we were choking for a winter break, John, it was this season to try and get, you know, some of these players rested up. All these players were had out all season, and some new ones, John, get them rested up, gives them a couple of weeks, you know, to give us a fighting chance to get them returned to the squad. And there's no winter break this season, so we just need to grin and bear it, I suppose. Right, John, predictor, league predictor, get your guess in, folks, for the Utrecht game. One guess each into the comment section. Correct score guess for the Utrecht game at Celtic Park on Thursday night to win the fantastic prize. All your regulars, 24 there in that league table. Get your guess into the comments. John and Collins. John Collins. John and Collins. Up at the top of the table, and all the rest following in behind your Roseannes, etc., myself and everybody else in behind there, John and Collins, both on 15 points. So a wee chance, John, for you to get 3 points, and everybody else. What's your guess for this one?
Again, European games, it's always hard to get it right, isn't it? Did I not get the last European game right? I can't remember. I don't think so. I know I get 2 games right. I think I got a Hearts one right and a Celtic one right. Yeah,
Bologna, you got, John, you're right. You got the Bologna game and you got the Hearts game. The extra bonus game they gave, if you remember. You got that right as well. Yeah, you got the European one, John, so you're looking to get another European one right here.
Aye, definitely, aye. I'll go for 3-1. Celtic.
2-0 to Celtic for me, John, in that one at Paradise. You know, we're saying no. We're not, I think we're had a clean sheet all season, but I'll go for the 2-0 anyway, John. 38 goals conceded is unbelievable for a Celtic team in January. It really is. Right, the predictor, John, a wee midweek predictor. It's not much a predictor, just the 2 games. The one we just spoke about, and the Rangers as well, John. Who is it they play? Porto away, John. What's your guess for that?
Well, they're already out, aren't they? So, yeah. I don't know. chasing Hearts in the league, of course, as are we. They might want to rest some players. The Rangers. I'll go for 3-0 to Porto.
3-1 to Porto for me in that one. All right, John. And a wee quick word on the last. I've not gave any results on the last 3 predictors we've done, so you've got it here. John, the score, before I tell you the scores here, is 20-12 to you. All right, John, so let's quickly run through it. Away last week, John, you got Kilmarnock 1, Dundee 2, so ding, 1 for you. Just take a wee note of that. A week ago, I got Aberdeen 1, Raith Rovers 0, ding, 1 for me. Then I got Livingston 2, St Mirren 1, ding, another 1 for me. And then you got John Hearts 1, Falkirk 1, ding, another 1 for you. So that's another 2 each so far. I'm sure there's another one, John. I'm sure there's another one somewhere. Yeah, there it's there. I got St Johnstone 0, Dunfermline 1 at the weekend there, John. Just there at the weekend. I'm trying to see if there's any more. I've got them all wrote down here. No, that was it, John. So that was 3-2 added to the current scores, which makes
22-15.
22-15, yeah. So there you go, John. That's us right up to date with that. I know over the last week or two things have been a wee bit upside down. It really has been, topsy-turvy, shall we say. We're hoping to get things back to normal for next Monday, folks. 3 podcasts a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. As regards to this week, we're going to keep it to today, and we'll be back on possibly Friday or Saturday. Possibly Saturday, because the game's on the Sunday, isn't it, John? So just the 2 this week, and then we'll be back to normal next week. Right, John, that's us right up to speed. We've done everything. News, gossip, rumours, cheating by referees. We went through the Utrecht game, the Hearts game, and everything else in between. Have you got anything you want to add, John? Anything I've maybe missed out?
No, I think we've covered everything. I think that's about it, isn't it? Just obviously good luck to Celtic and good luck to everybody in the league table. Don't forget to get your scores in. That's about it.
Yeah, get your scores in, because you don't want to miss that chance to get 3 points. And there's a few that's missed and then came back a week later. So that's big chances missed to get 3 points. We know it's just a bit of fun, but you want to finish up as higher up that table as you possibly can. Right, John, as you say, good luck to the champions on Thursday night. But the big one for us is against Falkirk, clearly, on the Sunday. We'll go into that in full detail on Saturday, folks. So we'll catch you on Saturday, John.
I'll catch you soon, Xander. Hail.
Thanks very much for coming on, John. I appreciate that. Got a lot off our chest there. Leave a comment, share with your friends, subscribe as well, and we'll catch you all very soon. Hail for now.